It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
I'm Monika Gul, and this is City Beat. Joining me today is Mayor Dennis Fenske. Welcome to the studio.
Good morning.
If you have a question for the mayor, call us at 677-8181 or email us at CHTM@arcticradio.ca. To start, what's been happening around the city?
Just a couple of safety updates to start with. Currently, we're doing a repair of a storm sewer at 111 Cree Road. That's just in front of Doug's Source for Sports. And for the safety of our crews and the public, we have closed the section of Cree Road with detours that are set up to Juniper Drive and Deerwood Drive while we work on the repairs, and they should be completed today. So just avoid that area if you can in your travels. Make alternate arrangements to drive around that area because, as I said, it's barricaded off, and we do hope to complete it today. Secondly, in regards to we're coming to the end of May, and this is cleanup month, so we would like to remind people that the $3 per bag is still available. You can contact Public Works at 677-7970. But just to encourage people to continue to pick up litter throughout the summer and fall as we try to keep our community clean. But the Trash for Cash program will end at the end of this month.
And on that note, I know there was a few events during the weekend for spring cleanup. How did that go?
Very well. We had the corporate challenge last Friday, and it was well attended, and they did very well from that perspective. Saturday was the public challenge, and I think we picked up 850 bags, down from 1,000 of last year, which is a good side, bad side. Good side is there's less garbage, and so from that perspective, but it was a good turnout, and as I mentioned, we want to continue cleaning our community throughout the summer, but month of May is usually our big program and our big push, and I'd like to congratulate all the volunteers and people, businesses that have come forth and assisted in that. The city looks much better than it did a month ago, and we continue to keep improving ourselves throughout the summer.
Great. Now, the RCMP, in consultation with the city, have set the detachment policing priorities for the year. How does the RCMP and the city arrive to these priorities?
Basically, it's a discussion between the local detachment and the inspector and the Public Safety Committee, City of Thompson, and we review the previous commitments for the top priorities in policing, and then we agree on them. There's actually an actual document that we sign off on. So it's a review process, and some changes over from year to year, but for the most part, they've been fairly consistent. We've had some wins in specific areas, and we look forward to continuing that relationship with the RCMP.
What sort of, results do we hope to see with the priorities for this year?
Well, we're always looking at trying to make it a safer community. So we're looking at from a traffic perspective, from a drugs and alcohol perspective, from a domestic violence perspective, and from downtown safety as well. So all of those initiatives, most recently the announcement of the Community Safety Officer program with in conjunction with the RCMP should see more controls in the downtown area to look at those issues. And by making the priorities available to the community and setting the priorities with the RCMP, those directions will move forward. And again, as I said, trying to make our community safer.
All right. Quick reminder to listeners, if you have a question for Mayor Dennis Fenske, give us a call at 677-8181 or email CHTM@arcticradio.ca. Now, there was a resolution put forward during Monday's meeting that would see the Association of Manitoba Municipalities lobbying the province of Manitoba to devote 15% of VLT revenue to address addictions, poverty, and homelessness in communities that have social problems. Can you talk about where this idea came from?
This is an ongoing request through AMM and from municipalities. The reality of it is right now in that certain communities in the province generate VLT revenue for the province. We are one of those. We are one of the larger ones that generate revenue, and it's our feeling that it's an unfair distribution of those proceeds back to the communities, and especially on the social needs perspective from addictions and social issues that are required. So we again are lobbying AMM, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities, to lobby on our behalf to the provincial government to dedicate funds back from the revenues of VLTs to specific areas and a specific dollar number of 15% of the net revenues so that programs can be implemented. And I'm not saying there aren't programs already, they just aren't funded to the level that they should be.
Is there like a specific percentage currently that's going back to the province, or?
Depends on the revenues annually. It's a fixed amount, and I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's a per capita basis. So every community in the province, whether you have VLTs or not, receives an amount from VLT revenue based on your population.
Okay, and so I guess going back to, if 15% did come back, for example, to Thompson, is that something, do you think that would help Thompson with the social problems?
Absolutely. We're always looking for additional funding. We do have the accommodation tax that we were able to raise annually around $500,000, and it's split amongst infrastructure, public safety, housing agencies for funding. So one of the things that we would be able to do is increase our funding to public safety initiatives to help make this a safer community.
Okay. Now, also, I guess, or another topic that's kind of been in the news is the Child and Family Services is requiring for foster children to be no longer placed in hotels after June 1st. What sort of effect will this have in Thompson?
That one, I'm not exactly sure on the caseload here in regards to the access to hotels. I know it's a big issue in the city of Winnipeg. From our perspective in our community, I can't say that it does or it doesn't happen. I'm not aware of the statistics in regards to that usage, but I think the initiative from the province is to get kids out of hotels and into a safe, secure foster housing situation. So from that perspective, a good move. But on the other side, the resources have to be there. So if the resources aren't there, what opportunities or what alternatives do you have? Because you can't leave children in a risky situation. So it's a tough decision to make, but hopefully the resources, and I know they've identified a certain number of foster situations where children can be moved to. But again, it's a resource-based issue, and if the resources aren't there, we still have the issue.
Okay. And also, you've made a few proclamations this week. Did you want to mention them?
The one in regards to healthy initiatives from the Heart and Stroke Foundation. That one in regards to just awareness in regards to, we had a meeting yesterday with representatives from Heart and Stroke, healthy foods, healthy choices, talking about sugary drinks and the amount of sugar in those drinks and what policies we can put in place. We do have a policy at the TRCC in regards to our food and beverage vendors that addresses that issue, but we had a larger discussion about the community-wide initiative, so we'll see where that goes.
And also, as part of that, you guys are offering free, I guess people can use the pool and the TRCC free in the next month?
Yes,
Okay.
for the fitness activities, and I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but we have the fitness day coming up where people are allowed to use the facilities and encourage physical activity.
Okay. Now, we also have a caller right now. Hello, Stephen. You're on City Beat.
Hi. I'm just wondering in pertaining to the school zones, as seeing how it's June right away. Is it end at the beginning of June or at the end of June? And for September, does it begin at the beginning of September or the end of September?
Okay, I think he's asking about school zone speed limits.
So the school zones are from September 1st until June 30th, where they're in effect. They are during the hours, I believe, of 8 to 5, and not appropriate on or not applicable on weekends as well as I mentioned, the September school year, September 1st to June 30th, off for July and August.
And so then during the summer months of July and August, it's going to be just
back to 50 citywide.
Okay. Now, before we wrap up, was there anything else you wanted to mention?
I just wanted to mention one in regards to bylaws that we have in place and haven't had in place for a number of years in regarding property standards. I've had a number of questions in the last couple of weeks, and it's just because of the season change. We're going from winter to spring, and people have boats and trailers and ATVs that are moving around and getting out and prepared for the summer season. So just a reminder to the general public that in regards to the storage of these facilities, and this will become an issue in the fall when people put their equipment away for the winter, is that we don't allow front yard storage of the trailers, boats, ATVs, and vehicles unless they're on the designated driveway of that house. So we want to encourage people to provide storage for themselves, either in their backyards if they have access, or to purchase storage. There are a number of companies in town that provide winter storage. But just to make people aware that we have a bylaw in place, we will be enforcing that bylaw throughout the summer. So to ensure that we have adequate access for fire and prevention services in case there's an event at a residence, as well as aesthetics. We don't want to have multiple boats and trailers sitting on a front lawn in a house. It just doesn't add to the appeal of the neighborhood. So just encourage people to when they purchase these pieces of equipment, that they be aware of the need for storage, and they aren't allowed in the front yard.
All right, good reminder. That's this edition of City Beat. Join us next Thursday around 11:30 for more on what's happening around the city. For 102.9 CHTM, I'm Monika Gul.
City